So following on from the video that I created about when I interviewed DJ and producer and label owner Daniel Candy, I wanted to talk about another thing that I consciously manifested. And again, this was for my interviews with successful people project. And after watching a film called The Equalizer with Denzel Washington, I thought this was a great film. It was certainly brutal and violent in places, but what I also loved about the film was the film score, and I ended up using this film score to process a lot of pain that related to the loss of my father and to unmet childhood needs that related to my father. I was able to cry out a lot of pain through listening to this score, so I found it very helpful in that regard. And after finding it helpful and really enjoying the music as well from the film score, I ended up reaching out to the guy who wrote the score. And this was someone called Gregson-Williams, and he has created scores for a number of big films. And I ended up thinking that it would be great to interview this person, because up until this point I had only interviewed DJs and producers and martial artists. So I thought it would be great to interview someone who writes film scores. So I ended up reaching out to Gregson-Williams, and I think it might have been the same day or a day after, and he ended up reaching back out to me, and I was very surprised and amazed actually. And he said that he is going to be in London soon, so he would be able to take part in the interview then. And I couldn't believe it. And he said that he will be at Abbey Road Studios because he was working on the score for The Martian, and so we could do the interview there. And it was amazing. As I said, I couldn't believe it. And this was an incredible experience to go down to Abbey Road to walk over the zebra crossing that the Beatles are famous for walking over. I think they use it for their album cover. So I went down to Abbey Road Studios and I went into the reception. And when I got there, I said, is Harry there? And the woman on the reception looked down, and the guy next to her was like, Harry who? And after this, she ended up directing me towards the studio. And once I was in there, we went into another studio, and on the side there was a folder that said The Martian. So that was very cool. Would have been good to have a little look in there. But anyway, so we conducted the interview, and it was a great experience. And after this, I felt quite elated. And again, it was hard for me to get my head around what had just taken place, because like with the other interview, if someone had said to me before that I would be going to Abbey Road Studios and interviewing a film composer, I would find this, my mind would find this very hard to believe. So this was another moment that made me see that just because my mind can't accept that something is impossible, it doesn't mean it is. So again, just like before, perhaps there is something in your life that you currently believe is not possible, but taking into account the experience that I had interviewing this film composer, this shows that just because your mind believes that something is not possible, it doesn't mean that it is impossible. So keep believing in yourself and don't give up on your dreams. If you would like to find out more about the services that I offer, please go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk, and I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.